Hey, how's everybody doing today? So, in today's video, I wanted to talk about how the more older you get, the more your perception of money changes. For instance, there may have been times when you were a small kid, I would say, for instance, as of middle school age, and you may have wanted to go around the neighborhood doing chores for people on the weekend, neighbors in your neighborhood, which included, for the most part, cutting grass for neighbors of yours just to be able to raise extra money for clothes or shoes, maybe video games, stuff of that nature. And after you were to get done doing those chores for each particular neighbor, a neighbor may give you an amount of $20 for each neighbor who yard or grass you may have cut. They may have given you each $20, and if you were to do the math, multiply that times 5 neighbors, that would end up equaling out to over $100 a day. And because of that, you would look at that at the time, by you being so young of age, for instance, as young as 12 years old, you may have looked at that as a really big accomplishment. I mean, because anytime you're not used to having that amount of money, especially growing up as a kid, I mean, that's something as a what you would look at is what I'm trying to say as a big accomplishment, both, and a big reward. Only for you to get older, for instance, once you get to your high school age, I guess you could say, or your high school years, to put it another way, make it sound, I guess, more better. You look at that amount, $20, or even more, $100, is chump change. I mean, you may be in the process of, for instance, once you were approached the age of 17, going on 18 years old, 17 and a half, you may be in high school, working a job for the first time, and get paid the following week, or in most cases, the following 2 weeks after you were to start working a job. Get your first paycheck of $100, only to find out that it's really not much you can do at all with $100. After all, you're almost an adult for the most part. 1 year also being away from the age of 18, because in most cases, when you get to the age of 18, whether you may be female or male, you're grown, although you're technically not legally grown. And what I mean by that is in the sense to be able to go to clubs without having to show an ID. Although when you do get the age of 21, you do have to still show proof of ID in order to get in a lot of clubs and bars. And not only that, but you're not, for the most part, yet legally old to buy beer or alcohol, those kind of things. Anyway, when you are that age, 17, good 17, 18 years of age, and you may have a job making just $100 every pay period, I mean, if you may have in mind buying a whole outfit, that's, for the most part, all of your money. And when you look at that as, for the most part, nothing to survive off of, because in most cases, if you have a job paying every 2 weeks, you'll have to figure out another alternative just to be able to make ends meet until the next 2 weeks, living off of just $100 an hour. But if you let's say you find a job paying you around $700 every 2 weeks at that age, you look at that as a really big amount of money, a really big accomplishment. But once you hit 25 and older, you look at that money is nothing to survive on. And then due to inflation costs everywhere for the most part, it's even more difficult and harder to make it off of just $700 every pay period. Now, if you may, instead of having a job paying you $700 every 2 weeks, if you may have a job paying you $700 every week, now that's a little bit better to survive off of, because if you do the math, that's around $2,000, almost $3,000 a month. Now, on the other hand, when you reach the age of 30, for the most part, you want you a career, in most cases, a long-term career that you can end up working and retiring from. And you may look at that amount of $700 as nothing at all, hardly to survive, especially you may be a person, in most cases, who may have your own place, may have a car note, also utilities such as water, gas, or electric utilities. That's if you may decide to switch from a apartment, because most people at that age in most cases have apartments instead of houses. However, there is a few people who have houses at that age too, especially if they may have started saving at very younger ages. Anyway, this is my point of saying how with the much more older you get, the more you look at money differently. And it's really strange in a sense how we perceive money compared to when we're small children, to the point where we get much more higher up in age, or much more older in age. With that said, let me know how you feel about this particular topic or subject by leaving your comments right down below in the comment section. Also, and last but not least, feel free to subscribe to the channel, share the video so the video could become more mainstream. By the way, some of you who may follow me may know on my main YouTube channel, because I have two individual YouTube channels, one by the name of Mr. Derek and the other one by the name of Capri. Capri being my main channel, where I discuss things pertaining to the gig economy, whether it may be gig economy news or my experiences being a gig delivery driver. So if you may want me to leave the link in the description box to that channel, I would be more than happy to do so. But with this particular video, I'm going to upload it onto my Mr. Derek channel. And once again, feel free once again to let me know your input about how you feel about whether when you get a certain age or whether you get more older in life, the way you look at money compared to when you were really young changes. Because I know, judging from my personal experiences, I have had a different kind of perspective on money, how money is looked at. Until next time, be blessed and be safe out there.